Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Caitlin Clark is done for the season, no matter how far the Indiana Fever advance. That is one of the problems a lot of people had with her being shut down. Now, I believe it was reported by Scott Agnes that she was eligible if they brought her back and went far enough and she was healthy. And then Chloe Peterson corrected the record with that because that is not true. You have to submit a roster for the playoffs, and those are your players that are going to be eligible for the playoffs. You see it with baseball all the time and other sports as well, obviously. But so Caitlin Clark is not coming back. This next series could go the 5 full games, and then the final they could get to it, and that could go the final all 7 games, and she will not be back. But what even makes it more interesting, as you can see, this post I'm recording this on when am I recording this? The 19th at like 9:30 a.m. 20 hours ago. It says if we win and she plays the next series, she'll have 7 months to rest her groin. It will be the highest rated game in WNBA history. At some point, fans will start turning out. You can only say one day Caitlin Clark will actually play for so long. And then Scott, again, put this out yesterday. Let's be clear. He put this out yesterday on the 18th. It's not the groin, it's the ankle. And then we had this article which says sources Caitlin Clark recovering from new injury. If you all remember, when it was kind of really starting to all come to a head about like, why isn't she playing? Why isn't she progressing? Why isn't she practicing? Why do we keep hearing the same crap and non-answered gibberish from Stephanie White over and over and over again? And then it came out, oh, well, a few weeks ago, she hurt her ankle. And then we had, again, conflicting reporting. We seem to get a lot of conflicting reporting when it comes to the Indiana Fever from those covering the Fever. And Scott, as you saw here, he came back and said it was the ankle, and Chloe said the ankle didn't affect her timeline in terms of her recovery. So that, yeah, there was an ankle issue, but that wasn't going to have anything to do in terms of lengthening the amount of time that she was going to be out. And then we have again yesterday, even though this article is from August 20th, when they finally decided to let everyone know there had been an ankle injury a couple weeks before that, this was put out yesterday that it's not the groin, it's the ankle that is keeping her out. And then, boom, alarm bells, red flags, whatever you want to call it. This is now where I really say this is nonsense. I do not understand why it is being done. I do not understand if I do not believe Caitlin Clark would be a part of this. So she could just be getting the advice from the medical team that is saying, no, you're not ready, despite how she might feel, because they could be saying, hey, yeah, you could feel great, but there's a greater risk that if you re-injure it, it's going to cause a lot of problems going forward. We had Stephanie White with her nonsense about Halliburton and the calf injury that he played with, and then that leading to an Achilles. But folks, ankle injury, and we go back here to this, and it says, um, we go down here, All-Star guard sustained a new injury earlier in the day. Clark, who has been working her way back from a right groin injury, tweaked her left ankle during a workout session. It happened near the very end, adding to the frustration. Now, I think it actually was when her coach did it to her. We heard things about a bone bruise. Now we're hearing about a tweak. And we were all told she wasn't doing any contact in practice. So she tweaked it during a workout session. That was just her on her own. And I get it with the surfaces sometimes and the sneakers, and you slide your foot and try and be quickly, and maybe you don't lift it up all enough, and you get your like your toe, outside toe area maybe like caught, and it rolls your ankle over a little bit. But words have meaning. Despite it being 2025 and most people using words incorrectly, words actually have meaning. Tweaked her left ankle August 6th, folks. August 6th. I can tell you, as many of you can, if you grew up playing sports, if you just played long enough, say even up through high school, you played a sport like basketball, you played a sport like soccer, you played a sport like football, you've tweaked your ankle, you've rolled your ankle, you've sprained your ankle. I promise you, a tweaked ankle on August 6th does not, here we are, September 19th, still going in, only just finishing up the first round of the playoffs. It does not keep you out that long. There is no way. A broken ankle might, a serious high ankle sprain might, but tweaking your left ankle during non-contact workout session is not ending your season when we are here on on September 19th. There is simply no possible way that that can be accurate. So either he's misinformed or he's lying or the team is lying, but something else is going on. Again, these are the thoughts that I'm having. I don't have any proof to show you. I don't have Caitlin Clark's medical records or anything like that. I'm just going from the experience of being an athlete growing up, the experience of coaching athletes for a long time, and just the experience of a fan and watching all of my favorite teams and having a little understanding and also and the fitness background. Like I said, the training and the understanding of athletes. No, I'm not a doctor, but I have a decent understanding of what injuries are and what tweaking an ankle means and how long that might keep somebody out. And usually, got to say, the tweaking of an ankle is going to then be a pain tolerance thing. Okay. If you tweak an ankle, now you may need a few days or a week of complete rest, but you can play on a tweaked ankle without risk of doing any serious long-term damage, or I should say, without that risk being increased of doing any serious long-term damage, and it just becomes a pain thing. And lots and lots and lots of athletes play with tweaked ankles, play with sprained ankles, play with bone bruises. The great ones play hurt, period. I mean, you can go back to, I mean, the most famous one I could think of, and I wasn't around for it, was the whole Willis Reed thing, limping out on one leg, things like that. The great play, who was it? Again, going way back. Oh man, hold on, I'm gonna get it. This was before my time. My dad would tell me about this, and I read stories, and because it was one of the Steelers. It might have been the fourth, right? Back in their that '70s team with the steel curtain, they won 4 Super Bowls back to back, and then back to back again. The Rams. I think it was Jack Youngblood, although I think he had a brother, Joel Youngblood, who played, I believe, the Super Bowl, but at least in the playoffs at some point, played with a broken leg. Okay, great players play hurt. A tweaked ankle August 6th does not end your season to where you're still out on September 19th. It simply doesn't. Now, if they come back and give more detail and say, hey, she tore something in her ankle, or it was a serious high ankle sprain. Because by the way, a serious high ankle sprain can actually keep you out longer than a clean break that you just put in the cast, and then you're in the cast for 4 weeks, and then you get your strength back. So, I'll correct the record on that. But going based on everything that we have and everything that we've heard from this team and from the media and so forth, I got to throw out that something else is going on. Caitlin Clark is fine. Again, it actually makes what's going on the sidelines that we see with like the jumping up and down, an ankle makes that worse than the groin. You can have a groin injury that can be preventing you from playing. And yes, just standing there, you can jump up and down the way Caitlin does, and you're not hurting it. But on an ankle, that is an entirely different story. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is getting interesting. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.